Hi, I'm Christine with Camp Smarts, and today I'm here to do a review on the Soul Origin Survival Kit. This is a survival kit by Adventure Medical Kits, and SOL stands for Survive Outdoors Longer. SOL also stands for something else, and we'll go into that a little bit later. It's a very compact little kit, pocket-sized even. In terms of weight, it weighs about 173 grams, 6.1 ounces. And in terms of measurements, it's about 10 centimeters long, 7.5 centimeters wide, 3.5 centimeters deep. And in terms of inches, that would be 4 inches long, 3 inches wide, and 1.5 inch deep. It is, as I said, a pocket-sized kit, and I mean, you can see I can fit it into my pocket, and it's something that I could easily carry. We're going to go into each one of the elements and components in this kit and see how they would do in a survival situation. So let's start by looking at the mirror. When you open the lid of the case, or this part of the lid anyway, there's a mirror. It has a siding grid. It's a durable polycarbonate mirror with retro-reflective aiming aid for one-handed use. There's also instructions on how to use it. If you look on the other side of the kit, there's a Core Lite Survival Tool, and there's a lock on the actual case to be able to slide it out easily. However, even without unlocking it, you can just push it out anyway. It's not as secure as it seems. On this side, there's a keyless whistle, and they claim that it blows to 100 decibels. And not having a way of measuring it, I'm just going to have to assume that that's true. As for the light, there is a bright LED light with a yield of 15 hours of run time, with 2 easily replaceable batteries. And if you actually look at where the battery case would be, you can see that you would have to actually access it through this little compartment, and you can only get into it with a screwdriver. So not really my idea of accessible. As for the brightness of the actual LED, I can compare it only to another flashlight, and in this case I've got a little photon flashlight which you can buy for like $3 or $4 just about anywhere, or maybe even less. So if you compare the two, like this, you can't really see it, but if I bring it down on the white paper, you can see it a lot better. And you can see just how bright or not bright it is. The blade is about 4.7 centimeters long, just under 2 inches. And it is made of AUS 8 steel, Japanese steel. And the actual blade is quite sharp, as you can see. But it's on a plastic setting here, just with rivets on plastic. And you can see it's not very sturdy. You can see how much it shakes there. It's got a lot of give. So not really the sturdiest of knives. In terms of signaling, it does just fine. The whistle does just fine. In terms of food, the knife, you could definitely, gut an animal, skin a fish, whatever. In terms of shelter, the knife will cut through paracord quite well. I don't think I would use it for batoning, maybe just for whittling though. The compass is easily removable, so that you can actually put it on the palm of your hand or on a flat surface to be able to see the direction. It is a liquid-filled compass, which sometimes are a little bit more problematic than other compasses. But if I place a couple of other compasses I have here, and this is a Silva, and this is a Sunto. You can see that they're all pointing north in the same direction, so it does work. In terms of fire, we have the Fire Lite Sparker, which is an easy to grip, one-hand operable fire striker. It is windproof, waterproof, and it creates quite a bit of sparks. Let's see how it works. What I have in here is some dryer lint, and this is something that I find that really takes sparks really easily. And I'm putting it into a stainless steel bowl just because I don't want to start a fire here at home. Okay, so let's see how this does. Once, twice. There we go. So you can see it does really well. Inside the kit there are also 4 Tinder Quick fire tabs, and they will burn up to 2 minutes each. In the kit there's also some braided nylon cord, and there's 10 feet of 150 pound test nylon cord. You can use it to rig a shelter, or to make traps and snares, or even to hang clothes. There's also 6 feet of stainless steel wire, military spec, used to make tools, repair equipment, and to improvise. So you could use it in terms of, I guess, shelter if you need to attach anything, or even to make a snare. The kit also contains a fishing / sewing kit. The fishing kit contains 4 hooks, 30 feet of fishing line, 2 snap swivels, and 2 split shot to catch fish. There are also some safety pins, about 3 of them in there, and a sewing needle for equipment repair, because the fishing line will also double as thread. The aluminum foil is actually quite thin. It's not very sturdy. It's like the kind of aluminum foil that you would get from your kitchen at home. A square foot's also not quite that much. It's not a considerable amount that you can actually think of cooking and collecting water and purifying water with it. As an extra, the kit also comes with a strap that you can attach to the side here, in case you want to use it around your wrist, or just as a strap that you can use to pull out of the kit out of your pocket, if that's how you intend to use it. Another extra is the 62 plus life-saving and tool techniques by Buck Tilton, and it's quite complete in terms of different tips and techniques that can be necessary in a survival situation, in terms of how to create shelter, fire, use a sighting mirror, how to procure food and water. So nice to have a little guide that you can use in a situation where you may not be thinking very clearly and may not remember all the things that you should already know. Okay, so now the kit says that it's waterproof. I've removed all of the pieces from it, from the outside and inside, and you can actually see a little bit of the gasket just on the outside. You can see it just around. So let's see how it does once it's submerged. Okay, I think that's long enough. Let's dry up the outside. And let's see how it looks inside. Okay, And right there, you can see already a drop in there. And actually, you can see how many drops came in. In conclusion, how well would this survival kit do in a survival situation? We saw that it has some elements that can be used in terms of building a shelter. However, it's not very complete. In its defense, I think most of these pocket survival kits never can be, because there's no space for something as simple as a survival blanket that would help in terms of shelter. For fire, although it has a really great little fire sparker, it is something that can break. So it's not the most stable to have, and it's the only way of making a fire. It has some tinder in there, which is great, but really there's only one way of making a fire, and you should always have more than one, especially when one of them can break. So although it has a yes, it's also a no. In terms of water, it's a big fat no. There's some aluminum foil, but really what can you do with a little bit of aluminum foil, 1 square foot of it? There's also no way of purifying it unless you boil it, really. But it's lacking. I don't think that the aluminum foil is a way to go. In terms of food, it seems to be quite covered. It has a fishing kit, it has some snare wire. The cord can also be used to create traps and snares, so I think we're okay on that department. In terms of signaling, the whistle seems to be pretty good. Same with the mirror. In terms of navigation, the compass seems to do quite well as well. In terms of first aid, it's not even contemplated. So there are 2 big no's here and 2 very important no's here. This is the only area where it seems to do quite well. I think this kit can be improved if you add some things to it. You could add something as simple as a flint. You already have a knife, and the knife will be good enough to actually get some sparks out of the flint. In terms of water, you could add some aqua tabs for water purification. A Ziploc bag that can be folded quite small and added into the kit. Some Band-Aids, perhaps, even, just to help a little bit to cover the first aid. And although an emergency blanket doesn't fit inside of the kit, it can go alongside it somehow. And in that way, the kit would be a little bit more complete. In terms of value, some of the elements that you have on this kit may seem to make up for the price of the kit. The kit is right now on Amazon.com for $38.68. You can purchase the Core Lite Survival Tool for $20. And you can purchase the Fire Lite Sparker together with 8 Tinder Quick Fire tabs for $7.95. And it may seem that you have the value in those 2 objects, but remember, would you actually purchase this product for $20? I mean, it's obviously a decision that you make if this is the kind of tool that you want to have with you. Personally, I don't think it's worth it, which is why I'm returning mine. However, it is obviously better than not carrying anything at all. But if you're willing to put some work into making your own kit or looking for something else that is more complete, then my opinion is that this is not the way to go.